Hi there, my Battlefield friends and fans. Welcome back to Battlefield 1. Yes, there are rats and lots of them if you look good enough. Look what we have here, a new map. It's called Neville Nights and it came with the June update that rolled out yesterday. My first impression was, wow, this map is a lot brighter than expected. It feels more like an early evening or morning than a night. By the way, this map is available to all premium pass holders and they shall not pass owners. But if you don't have either, you can still play the map when Premium Friends is active. When I first started playing on this map, I didn't do so well. I had to learn first that hanging out in the trenches is not always the best option, and because the map is so bright, you can be seen better by the enemy than you expect. But like with any new map, you get to know it and you get better at planning your moves. I was probably one of the only ones using a sniper rifle, and that was somewhat of a challenge at first, but I quickly learned how to use it to my advantage by adjusting my playstyle. With the June update, we did not only get the free map Neville Nights, which you see here, but also a new feature, and Frontlines is now available on two original maps, which is Argonne Forest and Amiens. I can't wait to try that out as I love Frontlines. In addition, DICE implemented several important game adjustments, which I will get to in a bit. So what's the new feature I mentioned earlier? It's a new screen at the end of each match to highlight the best squad in the game, something we have seen in other games like, for example, Rainbow Six Siege. And most often, the best squad is usually made up of players in a platoon, so it shows that being in a platoon gives you a better chance of being placed in the spotlight. Then they made several adjustments to weapons and gadgets. For example, they fixed an issue where the player's weapon got filtered audio when late joining a game in multiplayer. They increased the no-kill trade distance from 10 meters to 20 meters based on community feedback. They corrected aiming controller settings for the Bene Merci optical when using 1.5 times zoom. It was using iron sight settings. It will now use optical settings like the other zoom levels. They added a blur around the Selbstlauder 1906 sniper scope when aiming. They added single fire mode to the ribeye rolls to match the description, which says it's select fire. And the ammo pouch now speeds up grenade resupply if player stands close to it. Then they also made adjustments to the grenade resupply icon, which I don't want to get into details, but there are changes definitely. Then they fixed an exploit which allowed AT mines to be placed on vehicles, and they fixed an issue where flamethrower audio could get stuck if killed while firing. And they fixed an issue where player was able to fire weapon while being melee killed. And while they're at it, they also made some adjustments to vehicles. For example, they fixed the vehicle skin descriptions not showing up in the vehicle customization screen. They fixed low resolution texture on the Shoshan rear iron sight. They fixed an issue where wrong players would hear vehicle bailout voiceover. Yeah, I definitely heard that a lot. And all tank and plane parts are now fixed automatically upon the vehicle reaching full health. This prevents the confusing situation of having a health vehicle with broken parts. And then they made some adjustments to maps and modes where they fixed, for example, an issue where Conquest Control scoring event was being awarded in other game modes like Operations and Domination. They fixed an issue where auto reverbs were not fully faded in when transitioning from indoor to outdoor. Then they fixed an issue where shells of the BL-9 artillery on rupture in the rush game mode would be blocked if fired after the attackers had advanced past the second sector. They fixed an issue where self-repair would activate without input upon entering a driver's seat after leaving that seat mid-repair cycle. They implemented front lines on Amiens and Argonne Forest, which I already mentioned. And the player HUD is now active during pre-round, which is awesome. And they added original lighting for Soissons to make the level brighter. That's weird because I already thought the map was way too bright, but maybe that's just on Xbox. Then they made some adjustments to the map Verdun Heights. They fixed a few out-of-bounds spawns in operations. They adjusted the combat area and capture area for the flag in the last operation sector to improve the balance. There's a higher likelihood for more weather variation, and they adjusted headquarter spawns for both teams for conquest. And in the Fort de Vaux map, players should no longer be able to get on top of the fort around the courtyard area. I never saw that happen, but apparently that was possible. Thank God they fixed that. They made some adjustments to the spectator mode. The camera filters and depth of field settings can now be used while in player view mode. And they fixed an issue where all squad information was not always sent to spectator. Then they made some netcode adjustments where they added a tooltip on the death screen for when the player has high latency to the server. They added a message about leading your shots when playing with a high latency to the server, and they moved the latency indicator to not overlap with any other UI elements. And for the Xbox One, they fixed an issue where the game crashed after selecting several custom button mappings for the vehicle controller buttons, and they fixed an issue where the game would stop at a black loading screen when loading maps. Yes, thank you. And for the PlayStation, they fixed an issue where the game crashed after selecting several custom button mappings for the vehicle controller buttons. Looks like that was the same issue for Xbox and PlayStation. So that pretty much concludes the June update, news, adjustments, everything. So back to talk about a little bit more about this map. Do I like it? Yes, it actually is a lot of fun to play on it once you learn it, know the flanking routes and everything, of course, the same old, same old. But other than that, I have to say that I kind of noticed a little bit of a pattern where it seems that the free maps a lot of times seem a lot of copy and paste. Like this map, for example, has so many elements from the San Quentin Scar map, like the top of the San Quentin Scar map where everything is burned out and you find the bunker and the windmill. This doesn't have a windmill, but it's got exactly the same bunker. It's got the trenches, it's got those areas where there are no trees. And when you look at the buildings, though, the few buildings that are in here, pretty much the exact same burnout, damaged buildings that you find on top of the hill of St. Quentin Scar. So I totally understand that they would reuse things and say, you know, why redo it when it's already been done? But it feels a little like copy and paste to me, and I don't want to necessarily criticize the developers because after all, this map is a free map that they didn't have to put in if they didn't want to, because with premium we were only promised 16 maps, like 4 maps for every DLC, and now we're getting, like, you know, a couple more, or actually 4 more or 5 more, I don't even know how many they have planned, free maps, additional maps that they didn't even promise at all. So I had fun playing on this map. It is different to play at night, even though it's not that dark. It's definitely a fun map to play on, and you know, the more maps the merrier. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.